C2 is back and the market is back. And to be honest, we all know what is going to happen next. After Bitcoin makes new all-time highs, we're going to see high caps, mid caps, low caps, and then a full-blown alt season where everything just pumps left and right. Congratulations for those that sticked throughout this entire bear market, through the darkest of all times. To us, it's been a very intense Cosmoverse. I'm just now kind of recovered after 3 weeks that Cosmoverse is over now. It's been very intense. I felt very drained. I also got sick a little bit, so hence I couldn't do any videos. I know some of you have been asking. Thanks a lot for checking in also. Means a lot, but now I'm fully back, fully recovered, and back to bringing you the alpha. And to be honest, there's a lot of alpha in the Interchain ecosystem. I hope if you were at Cosmos, you had a great time. If not, that you watched the live stream. We have every single talk and every single panel on the Cosmos YouTube channel, so check that out. We also did full-on recaps on the C2 Zone Twitter account. And also, we just published the Interchain Ecosystem Map, which is basically a full illustration of the Cosmos ecosystem, which, to be honest, I think a lot of people are not actually aware how diverse, how big the Cosmos ecosystem is, and what is also still lined up, what is still coming. There's a lot coming, and no matter which vertical you look into, AI agents, DePIN, RWAs, gaming, you name it, interoperability, infrastructure, Bitcoin, aligned chains and projects, Cosmos is always at least at the top of the contenders for each vertical, or even dominating entire categories, right? Like Celestia dominates the modularity space. Babylon dominates Bitcoin staking and BTC alignment. EVM chains, we have Berachain that is coming up. That's going to launch this year still, apparently in Q4. They're going to launch maybe even sooner than we think. I think there's a big announcement coming tomorrow. I saw on their Twitter. No matter where you look, Cosmos has it all. And I think Cosmos is the most complete ecosystem, obviously far from complete, but one of the most complete ecosystem. And once you understand how diverse, how big Cosmos actually is, I think you'll find your gem. And you also understand Cosmos is much bigger than Atom. Speaking of the bullishness, the bull run, obviously now we have the election out of the way. Trump is the new president. He's very pro-crypto, pro-Bitcoin. Obviously, that's what he at least claimed. Now we also saw Senator Cynthia Lummis come out saying that we're going to build a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Trump also teased that at his talk at Bitcoin Nashville, where he also said that he's going to fire Gary Gensler on day one, which would be very bullish. And maybe he's going to replace him with, I don't know, Cynthia Lummis or Hester Pierce, which would be very, very bullish for crypto. But yeah, it seems like crypto is coming back to the US. The Coinbase stock went up 50-60% within the week after Trump won. So it seems like everything is, the rails are laid out for a bull run in 2025. Also, one of the most bullish signals is stablecoin liquidity, which has bottomed out here in late 2023 and since then has been up only, almost at the 2022 bull run highs. We're now at $173.7 billion. After Terra collapsed in May 2022, this was a big, big dump here that we saw. $40 billion wiped out instantaneously overnight pretty much. But now stable coin liquidity has been ramping up. PayPal has their stable coin. A lot of big enterprises are likely to also launch new stable coins in the coming months. So stablecoin liquidity is always a good indicator also to see where we are currently in the broader market cycle. And also today, as I'm recording this video, obviously, we do have a nice pump, which is also, I think, great timing to record the comeback video here today after 3 weeks of radio silence. But nice to see a pump. Obviously, we're still far, far away from being in the greens, from being bullish, even though Atom stakers have been eating well on their Saga airdrop lately, and there's another snapshot, round 7, which is actually the 8th airdrop for Saga, that is coming very, very soon. We'll talk about that later, and I have a full segment later in this video about airdrops. But yeah, Atom up 15%, Akash 5%, Axelar 10% as well. Tia just had their major unlock, which everyone called doomsday when the unlock happened. Nothing happened, of course, $5.67, and so on and so forth. Overall, very, very green day in crypto. Bitcoin scratching at the $80,000 mark as I'm recording this video. Probably when you watch it, it's already above 80,000, but we'll see. Obviously, Cosmos had a lot of alpha, as always. It's been a very, very productive conference. We had around 1,400 people over the 3 days. We had 4 stages running in parallel, 3 full days packed with panel discussions, talks, keynotes, workshops. We had an executive lounge, a lot of investors, a lot of VCs for the first time as well, really doubling down on our VC track. And probably the biggest announcement, which also I wanted to make sure that we're not hyping up announcements which turn out to be just kind of governance proposals or ideas. But this announcement was actually the highlight closing of the conference, a fireside between Ran and Giant, the co-founder of Mantra, where they announced for the first time publicly the Mantra chain mainnet launch. And Mantra is an RWA chain that is now fully in the Cosmos, that also just announced their airdrop checker, which you can go now on checker.mantra.zone, link is in the description. And you can see how many tokens you're getting, right? And at a $1.5 billion FTV that Mantra is currently trading at, this is going to be a juicy airdrop for you if you've been basically doing what we have been covering here over the past almost year about the Mantra testnet, about all the challenges, collecting karma points, and also positioning yourself well with Cosmos NFTs such as Bad Kids, Mad Scientists, and Celestine Sloth. The Sloth specifically are eating very, very well because they're getting 800 tokens per sloth. And that accounts to over $1,300 per sloth, which is a decent airdrop. And Winnie also from Sexito made a 2-minute tutorial on how to check your airdrop. So congratulations for everyone who is getting a decent airdrop. I think a lot of you are getting decent sized airdrops. So congratulations for all Mantra Sherpas. Now, another major announcement that was actually a little bit under the radar, and also, like I said, this time, especially around the Cosmos Hub, we wanted to have the communications in a more coordinated and more low-key manner, but yet it was very, very productive. And I think the AZ segment on day 3 at Cosmoverse, second half of the day, watch the live stream to get all talks about Halo, about Forge, about Hydro, about Drop Protocol, Neutron, Stride, and so on and so forth, was very, very nice. They actually just launched Forge as well as Hydro. But starting with Forge, which is the front end for the Cosmos Hub, and it's a place both for delegators but also validators to get an overview of the AEZ, the Atom Economic Zone, which is currently consisting of Neutron and Stride, and also Dungeon Chain, which launched just before Cosmos as well. And they also did a demo during Cosmos Day 2 in the gaming track. And this is the first ICS V2 chain, which is very bullish to prove the technology stack also working, and they have a real application, a game that is now secured by Atom that is also going to do an airdrop for Atom stakers, by the way. And Forge is just this front end where you can now get all resources and full access to the Cosmos Hub ecosystem. Then we also just saw the launch of Hydro, which was also extensively talked about at Cosmoverse, and they just launched the first round of Hydro bits basically, and it was capped to 20,000 atoms that could be locked up at Hydro, and this cap was filled within 24 hours. Now $20,000 atom right now is around $100,000. At a peak it was almost $1 million. Now with the current atom price of around $5, only 100K, but it shows that there's demand, and this boosts your APR, your Atom APR, from the normal staking rewards of around 16-17% by another almost 10%. So those that managed to get into that first vault, they're now earning like 25-30% in Atom rewards, which is really, really cool. I think the first projects that have been bidding here include Shade Protocol, Drop Protocol, Nolus as well, and many more. Anyways, this is good to see that the Cosmos Hub finally has a product roadmap and products also being shipped. I think also that there's going to be a change in leadership. Obviously, Informal already announced that they're going to kind of step down and not ask for another year of funding from the Cosmos Hub treasury, but instead, I honestly don't know exactly what is going to happen, but instead I think there's going to be another technical team to step up and take over the Cosmos Hub technical roadmap and development. We also don't really know what's going to happen with the ADAO moving forward, but I think so far so good. This is a product that actually has demand, that works, it looks nice, and it's also a way for the Cosmos Hub to regain momentum. Besides, also, I think my thesis is that, the Cosmos Hub is such a established chain, and Atom such a cooked coin that is still liquid, traded on every major exchange, has decent volumes, I think around $350-400 million in trading volume on a daily basis. So it's still hyper liquid and funds the interchain development on from a technical point of view. So I think there's still a window for the Cosmos Hub to regain momentum on the product side of things, but we always have to wait and see how that materializes and if the Cosmos Hub can capitalize on that. On the other hand, we also saw a surprise launch during Cosmos. I think the timing was a little bit interesting at least, but the Cosmos Hub forked. We talked a lot about AtomOne, Jay's vision basically for the Cosmos Hub, which is centered all around hub minimalism, Jay obviously calls it the original vision for the Cosmos Hub. And AtomOne is now live, which is a fork of the Cosmos Hub. And there's also a Genesis airdrop to Atom holders. You don't have to claim it. It just appears in your wallet. You have to go on Kepler and you have to add the AtomOne chain to your Kepler, and then you'll see how many AtomOne were dropped to your wallet, and then you can stake that. I think there's a 50-60% staking APR. I think it's also visible here on Minscan, and then you can see if you get any of those AtomOne dropped in your wallet. 78% is currently the staking APR, just for your information. Next, we also have news that was dropped at Cosmoverse. Hyperweb, a new consumer chain developed by Cosmology, which has been contributing a lot of the tooling and just being core contributors to the Cosmos ecosystem over many years, led by Dan Lynch, who made a great presentation also and was probably the best dressed presenter at Cosmoverse, announcing Hyperweb, which is a JavaScript platform that is going to be Atom secured. It is obviously a technical chain. It's not a consumer application in that sense. And to be honest, I don't know too much about it, just from the talks I had with Dan at Cosmos, but I think it's great to see that more and more chains are looking to get Atom secured. Maybe also Halo is coming up. There will be a rollup framework also secured by Atom, just so that the Cosmos Hub has a broader product offering. But obviously, what really matters in the end of the day is to have actual product market fit, which means to build something that there's actual demand for it, right? A product that there's actual demand for it. And we have to see if Hyperweb can attract more developers, JavaScript developers, to build on Hyperweb, which eventually also then accrues value for Atom. Another major announcement was IBC Eureka, which is basically an expansion of IBC that would make it fully EVM compatible, add new extensions, and also reduce complexities. Here presented by Guillermo, who also made one of the opening presentations at Cosmos itself. Carter, representing the ADAO or the Cosmos Hub, also gave the opening speech, a brilliant presentation around the Cosmos Hub, and I think one of the best spokespersons about the Cosmos Hub nowadays, alongside Noam probably. But Guillermo's talk also very, very nice about IBC Eureka. I think a lot of people are really underestimating that IBC is getting adopted left and right. We also had an announcement by Cardano at Cosmos to natively integrate IBC. We also see Thorchain now integrating IBC finally. We talked about this here on this channel 2 years ago with Chad Barraford. When IBC is coming to Thorchain, it's coming to Cardano, it's coming to Chain, it's coming to Initia, to Movement, and a lot of the multi-billion-dollar chains that are lined up and getting ready to launch. We also see the launch of Gordian, which is basically the Fire Dancer equivalent for Cosmos, developed by Strangelove Labs by Jack Zampolin. And this is also going to further improve the technical infrastructure and Comet BFT's performance, which is really good to see. And more technical advancements are happening in the Interchain. Now, I briefly mentioned the Celestia unlock happened, and this was not just a regular unlock. This was a major unlock, right? It doubled, almost tripled the circulating TR supply. And people were calling doomsday when this occurred, but nothing really happened. The price kept its value, basically, remained stable, currently trading at around $5.48, which implies roughly a $5.7 billion FTV, and staking rewards are still at around 10%. And you can see here really the unlock occurred, which doubled the supply from 267 million TIA to over 444 million. And now you have these gradual unlocks all the way until October of next year. So now you have linear unlocks that are then slowing down next year in October and are still going on for another 2 years thereafter. With the unlock, obviously, they're also celebrating the first year of Mainnet after the 1 year cliff has ended. And the stats for Celestia, which is a B2B chain, to be honest, it's very, very important to understand also the difference between B2B chains, like infrastructure chains, and B2C chains or consumer applications. Celestia is a B2B chain that has currently 21 chains in production, 150 gigabytes of blobs that were posted on Celestia, capturing 45% of the data availability market shares, and has a roadmap to 1 gigabyte blocks that we also unveiled here on this channel a couple of months ago, and a lot more major achievements, and also more and more chains or rollups that are using Celestia for data availability are now launching their mainnet. We talked about this a lot, how obviously in a bear market, when things are drying out, everything is bearish, everything is negative, people are bored, there are no more airdrops, there are no more launches, things are seemingly drying out. But once the floodgates open again, we're going to see launches left and right that have been kept back, because obviously these teams are not launching when the momentum is died out. They're launching when momentum is coming back in. And now is that moment, after the election is now out of the way, after we have gone through this year of sideways bearishness, negativity. Now is the time when these chains and products are launching, and you're going to see. I think my thesis for the rest of the year that we're going to see a lot of launches, and with it also a lot of airdrops and a lot new products that will hit the market. Astria being one of them, a decentralized sequencer using Celestia also for data availability, and the same team has also built Flame. Flame being the new home for Celestia native DeFi. Flame, very, very interesting. I haven't played around with it yet, but definitely something that might make sense to just check out, see how it works, how it goes, and also get a feel for the kind of Celestia ecosystem, which, to be honest, the Celestia ecosystem is going to have its own huge map in the future, right? Like I was showing you in the intro here. Eventually, we will be doing Celestia ecosystem maps, Fetch AI or ASI maps. We're going to do Babylon maps, right? Because eventually the interchain is just getting too big that all these chains, Mantra as well, right? They're going to have their own ecosystems, their own 10, 20, 50, 100 secured chains in their own networks, right? Saga as well for the gaming space. The most successful chain on Celestia so far has been Eclipse, which is the fastest Ethereum L2 that deploys the Solana VM. So it's basically merging Ethereum and Solana, the best of both worlds, and uses Celestia for data availability. And Eclipse also just launched their public mainnet, and you can already see Turbo here, their mascot. This video is also really a good trailer, by the way, for their launch that also gained massive traction on Twitter. And Turbo is also a meme coin that is basically now the mascot of Eclipse. And I think, obviously, I'm still catching up with everything after my time off after Cosmos, but I think one of the new meme coin metas could be mascot coins, right? Mascot coins being kind of, the sloths for Celestia, the bad kids for Stargaze, Turbo for Eclipse. Story also announced that they have a mascot. Sunrise also announced that they have a mascot. We're going to talk about this later as well. And for Eclipse, the mascot is Turbo, which is tradable here on Invariant, which is a DEX deployed on Eclipse. And you can see here you have Turbo listed. You have also Leica, which is also deployed on Eclipse here, and a lot of other coins, and some of them I don't know. I aped into some Turbo here, full disclosure. But I think it just makes sense to maybe diversify into some of these mascot meme coins on these new launches. Next up, probably also going to be a multi-billion-dollar chain, Initia, 78% mainnet initialized. And they also have Jenny, their mascot. I don't know if they also have their own meme coin around it, but Initia, one of the most highly anticipated launches, very, very close around the corner. Then updates from Thorchain. I talked about it in the intro. Finally going to implement IBC. JP Thor, I got to hang out with him a lot during Cosmoverse. We even had a shisha together, which was cool. And he seems very bullish on like the kind of IBC economy. Obviously, Thorchain is in a very, very good spot, very good position with their main chain, their main DEX, fully Bitcoin aligned, and also now building the application layer with the Ruggiera Alliance, also bringing on Levana, bringing on obviously Kujira, and maybe some more applications to build out their app layer as well and basically expand the product offering. Then one of the highlights at Cosmos was probably this presentation by Sunny. Also very, very legendary shot here from Sunny at Cosmos, presenting Osmosis, the Osmosis Vision, and also Polaris, their new application that is also Solana aligned. I think Polaris itself is going to reside on Osmosis, if I understand correctly, but we'll have to wait and see. But in the end of the day, Polaris is going to be a B2C product, like Osmosis itself is a B2C product, right? Which is different to how Celestia works. Celestia is B2B, Osmosis is B2C, focused on retail users and being a trading platform. And Polaris is also going to implement more abstraction tools, which means a lot of the complexities also around IBC interoperability are being abstracted away. And Sunny is also obviously a big Bitcoin bull. We talked a lot about this here on the channel. And I think that they're also going to make sure that they will absorb a lot of the BTC volumes on Osmosis itself. In fact, the chain is also doing a lot of advancements left and right. We talked a lot about the revenue models that they have integrated and taker fees and revenue shares also with Namek BTC. Now they also improved the chain speed. Normally, an average Tenement chain or Comet BFT chain is around 6 to 7 second block times. And Osmosis has now got it down to 1.61 seconds, and they actually want to get it down to sub-second block times, which would make it really, really fast. This is one thing. Another thing is that they also want to build up a strategic Bitcoin reserve to enhance market liquidity. And like I said, make Osmosis the best place to trade for Bitcoin liquidity, basically. So they want to convert, I think, up to 500,000 USDC from the Osmosis community pool in BTC, basically buy BTC and be fully Bitcoin aligned. Another coin that is in a very good spot, in my view, is Akash Network, AKT. Doing all-time highs after all-time highs when it comes to USD spent on their chain, on their mainnet. $8,150 daily USD spent on Akash, and you can see the chart here, up only, explosive growth. AKT, Akash Network, one of the best compute networks in all of crypto, and really fits well into the deep in and AI narrative. They were also owning or leading the AI track at Cosmos. There was a full-on segment with keynotes, presentations, partnership announcements, also with Omniflix. They did a great partnership announcement, and also panels with Sentinel and many, many more. Then we also have an interesting announcement, which I just saw on Twitter recently. Cronos, they have unveiled the blueprint for an AI agent-powered ecosystem on Cronos. Cronos itself is a full-on Cosmos blockchain. In fact, one of the first ones, I think even the first Ethermint chain, which was co-developed by the Fmos team back in the days, even launched before Fmos itself went live. And Cronos is now also playing the AI meta, which is interesting, and I think they also saw a massive pump the other day, which might have been in context of that announcement, which was done 4 days ago. So Cronos also one to keep an eye on, also a full-on Cosmos chain. Then we have a new chain that is in the works that is also partially, at least, using the Cosmos technology stack built on the Cosmos SDK, is Nillion. And Nillion is a chain that we have also invested in with Sexito. We're also going to be one of the validators there. Nillion just announced a major $50 million raise with their latest round of $20 million, $25 million, led by Hack VC. And Nillion, definitely also one that you want to put on your radar. This is going to make big waves when it comes out, also in the AI space, but also around privacy. So definitely one that you should keep an eye on. Then we also have news from Story Protocol, which we're also going to be joining with Stakesito in their validator set. Infinite Seas just announced that they're going to migrate to Story Protocol. And like I said earlier, Story Protocol, they also have their own mascot now. I think they even have an NFT for that. So I don't know. You probably know more than me as I'm still catching up with things. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like all these new multi-billion-dollar chains, and Story is going to be a multi-billion-dollar chain as well. They have their own mascots, their own NFTs, their own meme coins, which could be interesting meta leverages basically on the main chain, right? Then we also have news from dYdX. dYdX also had a major presence at Cosmoverse. They also held the dYdX day inside the Cosmoverse venue, a full day of talks and panels and discussions and meetings. And they are now very close to launching MegaVaults, which would maximize your utility for USDC, where you can earn rewards on your USDC. And also don't forget that you can earn USDC, native noble USDC, by staking dYdX. So the dYdX staking rewards are actually denominated in USDC and not in dYdX, which makes it very interesting, I guess, from a investor's perspective, I think, to harvest and farm and earn USDC, more predictable revenues. Makes sense to look into dYdX, also one of the best chains made in Cosmos. Then we also have big news from Stargaze, which is massively lagging behind with their market cap, obviously very low, got really hit hard by the bear market, but they are still around, and I would even say more around, more relevant than ever, with Bad Kids, with After the Filter NFTs. There was also a huge panel at Cosmos with mad scientists, ATF, Bad Kids, Celestine Sloth, Paco was there. Really nice panel, moderated by Shane, founder of Stargaze. And I think Marketplace V2 is very interesting because it allows now for these NFT collections to be traded in other coins other than stars. And I think part of that revenue model is also for basically the fees that are accrued by Stargaze for trading native Stargaze NFTs in other coins that will be used to buy back stars, which would cause a positive flywheel for the stars token. Finally, Coinbaro, good friends of CryptoCito, good friends of the channel, also moderated 2 panels at Cosmos with Mantra and also in the Bitcoin track, making this tweet here: retail is starting to wake up. Google trends for the word Bitcoin are skyrocketing after they have been flat for most of the recent months. But throughout the year, we've basically seen here this peak in Q1 in March, I think, was when we had this little hype rally. And since then, it's been down only. But now we seem to have bottomed out. And obviously, with the election being over, Trump being president, I think a lot of people are now getting more and more excited about Bitcoin and crypto again. Kraken also commenting, nothing brings new people to the space like the all-time high news cycle. And that's always the thing, right? Bitcoin makes new all-time highs. People get excited about it when it hits all-time highs. Then it trickles down to high caps, mid caps, low caps. Because to be honest, if you say, okay, I'm bullish now on crypto, I want to get exposure and want to do a 10, 20x. Realistically, this cycle, I don't think you can do it with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin 10x from here would put it at $800,000. I hope it goes there this cycle, but I think you probably have to dig deeper into verticals, narratives, movements, but obviously meme coins are going to do well. But I also think infrastructure coins eventually will do well, right? Like the Celestias out there, rollup providers. Obviously, it's a very competitive space now, but I think, yeah, there will be a lot of potential big gainers and outperformance. And eventually, I also think that there's going to be a Cosmos season, right? I have very, very high conviction in Cosmos, more than ever, to be honest. And every time I see like hundreds of builders and VCs and investors and a community coming together every year at Cosmoverse, if you catch the vibe there, you kind of inevitably get bullish about the ecosystem again. And you're like, okay, this is far from dead. Next, we also have a cool announcement by Skip Protocol, which Skip itself is going to have an announcement quite soon. I don't know much about it. I just know that there's going to be an announcement, but we'll see what this is all about. In context also with the Interchain Foundation. But Skip Protocol now presents their new skip.go widget, which skip.go was previously called ibc.fun. If you're an OG cosmonaut and you remember the ibc.fun interface, now it's called skip.go. And there's also this hidden nugget in here in which one atom is priced at $100. So inshallah, one day we're going to go to $100 up only for atom. Anyways, final segment, airdrops. A lot of airdrops. We already talked about the Mantra airdrop. We already talked about the AtomOne airdrop, AtomOne being airdrop to atom stakers. Now we also have the Saga snapshot that happened on November 5th. And this is the 7th vault, but the 8th airdrop already. So Saga compounders are eating very, very well. And eventually, Saga compounders are atom stakers and atom compounders. In effect, with my Cito Public Investment Challenge, which I started 3.5 years ago, at the peak of the bull run, worst timing to probably start this. And I kept giving updates throughout the bear market. And I will do an update about this in the next week or two when I'm back to recurring content. But to be honest, the portfolio doesn't look that bad because I compounded my atom throughout the bear market, which I said over and over, stay, compound, double down. And yes, there might be coins that will not make it, right? Like Juno, for example, does not look in a very good position right now. But compounding my atom got me the Saga airdrop, which I then compounded and got me more Saga. And now I get 8 airdrops already. And you're going to see in that portfolio, I also got the Tia airdrop, by the way, that it actually doesn't look that bad. So we're going to see some numbers there very, very soon. So that's the Saga airdrop. Then also, ELYS airdrop. Another snapshot was taken for atom stakers. ELYS is probably the most exciting consumer chain that is lined up to the Cosmos Hub to be secured by the Cosmos Hub. And atom stakers are also going to get the ELYS network airdrop, which was taken, the snapshot was taken, I think, yesterday or the day before. Then also, Rise airdrop Sunrise Layer testnet V2 launched on November 8th, and you can now earn the Rise token airdrop based on your Haru level. And Haru is their mascot. I don't know if there's a picture of it, but yeah, they have Haru as well. And yeah, here it is. And I think you have to kind of breed it and feed it and grow it, and similar, I guess, like how Jenny worked on Initia, and could also potentially be a meme coin that is launching and kind of the mascot coin of Sunrise Layer. Next up, we have a new meme coin also, sticking around the meme coins and airdrops. Spice. Spice is the meme coin, I guess, launched by the community. I don't know much about it, to be honest, but just casually pulled a, 40x within a week after Cosmos. This was launched. And this is the meme coin of Akash network. It seems like it's paired with AKT liquidity. And there's decent liquidity, like almost 350K in liquidity and almost 200,000 in trading volume in the past 24 hours. So very, very interesting things are popping up left and right. And then we also have finally the Tribbles meme coin that is coming up. Tribbles meme coin, out of this world. It is the meme coin, of course, of Agoric, and this is how Tribbles look like. There was also a claw machine at Cosmos. They had their very, very fun stuff. And yeah, you can get this coin by joining their Discord. Personally, I'm not the biggest Discord user, to be very honest with you. But if you're deep in the Discord trenches, I strongly recommend you to join this Discord group, get a Tribbles role by clicking on the Tribble emoji, and that get into the Tribbles Lounge channel. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy also this bullish week after the election is now over. We have more clarity and potentially a year-end rally. At least that's what we all urgently need and deserve. So I'll leave you with that. I'll see you very soon. Now go check out all your airdrops, your mantra airdrop, your AtomOne airdrop, and so on and so forth. And I'll see you very soon. Until then, stay safe and be good.